The disruptions at the port of Dover and the border between the UK and France continues as the French government and Emmanuel Macron blame Brexit. Well, here we're going to tell you the truth. Hello beautiful people, welcome to the first video of the day. Let's talk about the truth, because I think we don't really get much of it in the mainstream media or just across the whole of the establishment. The last, quite recently we've had a lot of issues at the port of Dover, especially the lorries that want to go into mainland Europe and vice versa, generally speaking, and even just holiday makers are facing a lot of troubles. The only people who are not facing troubles when it comes to crossing border are people on small boats that come from France into Dover. They can just get in easily. But this problem, Macron and the Remainers are saying, this never happened before, it's Brexit. Brexit, Brexit, Brexit. Well, the reality is, this is not the first time it's ever happened. You can blame the government and the British state and establishment for the way they're handling the post-Brexit Britain, this new so-called sovereign and independent country that we have. Now, we voted to leave the EU, but we actually expected the government and the establishment to actually handle it the right way. So it's not Brexit, it's the way the government are handling the new independent country. But in reality, it's not even the first time it's ever happened before. And we've had a number of issues in the past, way before Brexit, when we were still a member of the European Union. And thanks to Nigel Farage, we have the examples that he pointed out.
New passport checks lead to 10-mile traffic jam leading into Dover. That's from 2015. We can show you Operation Stack raised in the House of Commons. That'd be 2007. Costs for Operation Stack mounting up from 2005. And I could go all the way back to 1988.
Yes, absolutely spot on. But it's not even just a historic issue that we've had. Both governments are just completely incompetent anyway, and there is a bit of a vendetta in this case, especially when it comes to Macron. Why is it that his government decided to reduce the number of people at the passport control and the border security, obviously between the border? Why is it that suddenly, since Brexit, we decided to see a massive reduction in terms of the French security? We've had Doug Bannister, who's the head of the port of Dover, who's come out to actually expose it, saying, well, put aside the bureaucracy. Everywhere has bureaucracy. Every border has bureaucracy, real borders. You have to have checks. But usually it's smooth. Suddenly with France, it's not smooth. Why? It says, we don't know why there were insufficient resources deployed from the French border control. We had shared with them what our resourcing requirements were, and we had about half the number overnight. There are insufficient French officers on the ground. We don't know why this has happened. So of course he has to be diplomatic and say, we don't know why. I wonder, it's the mystery. Well, it's not a bit of a mystery, because we know exactly why he's got this vendetta against Brexit Britain. Same reason that he's not bothering to actually stop the small boats coming from his country. France's migrants, that's what they're called. France's migrants. You can't recall them anything else. He's not really bothering, despite the fact that we paid him a lot of money to have this so-called agreement, to work together, to cooperate. They said, even if you leave the EU, we will always be your allies and partners and neighbours. It's not really the same, is it? They are the true definition of frenemy, the French. And this continues to be a problem unless they actually have a strong and stable prime minister or leader in this country to reshape this relationship, because it's no longer working for either side, really. This is the problem we have, from the situation with the fisheries to the border control and national security. Now, we're going to come back in half an hour, tell you what's going on in Oldham. The grooming cover-up continues as the police are targeting the protesters and much more. So subscribe to the channel. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.